loves you.
Alright guys, so as some of you may or may not know, Codemasters are already working on the F1 2014 game, so I feel it's the perfect time for me to upload a video just talking about the things that I feel should be improved or things that should be brought in for the new F1 2014 game. Now the common theme for the majority of this video is mainly relating to career mode and online, as that's where people spend most of their time, and I feel that those two areas of the game don't get much attention. They should get, in fact, most of the attention, as too much time is spent on like little side game modes and whatnot. So this is going to be a pretty long video, I think, so I'll just get straight into it, and hopefully you guys can stay for the whole thing, as I think it's going to be very interesting listening to my thoughts, and then eventually you guys can input your comments on what you guys would like to see, or if you'd like to comment on anything that I've missed. So I'll get straight into this, and we'll see how we go at the end of this. So the first thing I want to talk about is the career mode, mainly implementing a driver market or transfer window like you see on FIFA. I feel that F1 is too limited in career mode, having the drivers being in the same team for the 5-year career mode. It's just a little bit boring, a little bit more repetitive than what it needs to be. Having a driver market window or something along those lines would really spice it up and allow a more complete game and more realistic, I suppose, because it gets boring seeing the same drivers at the same teams all year long. And maybe even if you could like allow young drivers to come through the ranks, like the test drivers and whatnot, and even just including test drivers in career mode, I think that would be a pretty cool thing. But I'm not too sure how you'd implement those into the regular career mode, but there's definitely something that could be worked into it for a different game mode that I'm going to talk about in just a second. So that other career mode or other game mode that I was talking about is a team manager mode. Now I've talked about this in several videos for the last year or so, and I'd love to see a team manager mode where you're a manager or team boss of an F1 team, maybe a current team or bringing a new team, or even like in a scenario where you're bringing back HRT from bankruptcy and coming back to F1, and you take control of the team, you build up the car, you put on your own sponsors' liveries, you hire your own drivers, whoever you want. One driver could be a real life driver, and the other driver could be a custom driver like we have now, where you could pretty much play as yourself, really, and you control the driving aspects of the game, you control the team, the business aspects, and you can really control just about the whole thing. I think that'd be absolutely amazing. That would completely add a new dimension to the F1 game series, and will definitely add a lot more lifespan to the game, if you want to say. That's something that would really just make it so much more better. But yeah, the things that would be like in that team manager mode would be you choose your drivers, your car design, livery, sponsors, whatnot. You allow your drivers to change teams. You control the budget, how much you want to spend, whether you want to buy parts from other teams, whether you want to just buy a customer car or build your own car in-house. That's all up to you. That'd be fantastic. And have more emphasis on upgrades, not just for the team manager mode, but for regular career mode. I find that the upgrades are sort of is too basic, and you can't really have that much control over what upgrades you want to put on the car. But that's pretty much it for team manager mode. It's a very raw idea at the moment, but it's something that could really spice up the F1 2014 game, or F1 game series as a whole. But moving on to multiplayer, I think there needs to be a lot more emphasis put on that aspect of the game, because for majority of F1 fans and people who play the F1 games by Codemasters, we spend a lot of time on multiplayer, and having to race in lobbies where there's so much lag, it's just, and unequal cars, to name just another thing. That's really annoying, and it really takes away from the online experience, and in the long run I think leagues are really starting to suffer, and as a whole I think we really need to look after our online community by delivering really good servers, having equal cars, and taking away as much lag as possible. And I find that you'd really keep the game alive, so to speak. and really keep people playing the game, because and in the end that's what you want, people playing the game all year round. So yeah, just fix up the multiplayer, try and equal up the cars, just have every single car have the same straight line performance, same grip, same turning ability, same braking, same tyre wear, everything. Just do that, okay, because that'll make the game a whole lot better. But moving on to a few other things I want to add into the game, or like reintroduce to the game that were in previous games. Starting off with online practice sessions. I think that'd be pretty cool, having like an hour-long practice session where people can come and go in a practice session, test setups or whatever with your friends in the same lobby, and just away you go. I think that'd be really cool. But next thing I want to bring in is FP1 and FP2. I find that having just the Friday Practice 3 isn't really enough for career mode or even Grand Prix mode when you're trying to test setups. You know, there's just not enough time to really test things and test what you want to achieve in that 1 hour session. I think there's not enough time. So introducing FP1 and FP2 would be nice, but I don't think it'd be too hard to bring back into the game, really. But yeah, next thing is faster AI. I believe, as far as I know, the AI just run on the standard stock setup, like 6.6 wings, you know, 6.6.6, you know, suspension, whatever, everything down the middle. So that's obviously not the best setup. I think that like a month or two after the game comes out, they should like patch the game or patch the AI so that they can run the same sort of setup that we are running. Sorry if I can't speak right now, but yeah, if the AI run the same setup that we're running, then they're going to be just as fast as us, and that's going to make it much more challenging and much more enjoyable for us, because I think the AI are pretty much maxed out as they are, like being as fast as possible with the stock setup. By adding a custom setup or a fast setup, then obviously they can challenge the much faster players a lot better. So hopefully that can be implemented, but here's hoping. Next thing is keep the tyre scaling. That is a fantastic implementation by Codemasters. Since F1 2011, it really adds to the strategy for shorter races like 25% and 50%. Having one stops in a race is just not entertaining. There's no strategy involved. It's just boring. It's a sprint race. Nobody wants to see that, and it was boring on 2012. So Codemasters, please keep the tyre scaling. Although it's really harsh and really some would say it's overpowered on this game, I think it's great. I think you need a really high tyre degradation, and that really adds another dimension to the game. It allows people who are smooth and consistent to really shine, and that allows people to just drive a little bit more realistically in the end. So moving on to my next thing is something that hasn't really been addressed or talked about really, apart from really those elite sort of drivers, but one thing I'd like to see is assist users being handicapped. I think you see it on Forza where non-assist users are actually able to be faster than assist users, and I think that should definitely be something that should be looked at by Codemasters, because you look at the time trial leaderboards and you see people at the top who are all using assists, which is a bit of an unfair advantage because they can use the driving line or traction control or something like that, and they can be, you know, unfairly faster than people who don't use assists, and I think that's wrong. I think people who use no assist should be the faster drivers, and in theory they are, but they should be rewarded for taking off the assists and doing things a little bit more hardcore. So yeah, that's that. Moving on to another thing, and I think there should be like customization for pad users or controller users. You can see adjustable wheel settings for wheel users, but there's nothing for controller users, and I don't know why, because controller users do have preferences too. Like they should be allowed to like adjust their sensitivity of their steering, or their braking dead zone or throttle dead zone or steering dead zone. I don't understand why there's no customization for pad users when they probably need it the most. They're just locked into the stock setting of what Codemasters give them. So implementing that would allow pad users to be much more comfortable and much more, in a way faster if they can find the right settings. So I think that would be a really good thing to implement, because not everyone uses a wheel, and I think pad users really are behind the 8 ball when it comes to driving games. So giving that would at least put them like closer to a level playing field with the wheel users. So moving on to the next thing, and I think that Codemasters should introduce some kind of reward system or safety rating for people who drive safely and don't take out other users online. I think that'd be really cool. Even having like rewards for people who drive safely, like additional helmets or helmet customization, leaderboards for people who have the highest safety rating, so to speak, or even introducing like celebrations that you could buy on RaceNet or something, or earn through XP on RaceNet or through this safety rating system. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm sure that there's something that they could do with safety rating or something along those lines that could really reward the safer drivers and really try and punish people who don't drive safely. So that's my take on that. Moving on to damage, and I think the damage should be a little bit more realistic. I feel that the current damage model has been the same pretty much the last couple of years, and it's too sturdy. I think it takes too much for a car to crash out. You could hit the wall pretty hard and still only chip off an end plate or even keep the whole wing intact. I think the damage model should reflect more real life, and like little touches could take off your wheel and put you out of the race. I think that would really add to the realism of the game. It would definitely deter people from really being more reckless. I think it would make people much more cautious, or not cautious, but aware that if they drive stupidly, then they'll be out of the race in one hit. So I think that's something that would definitely help improve the realism or experience of the game. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Moving on to the safety car, I think there should be a higher chance of the safety car coming out, particularly for longer races like 50% and 100%. I just feel like it's a rare event when a safety car comes out, and I feel like I have to do a big song and dance whenever it does come out because it's a rare occasion. But yeah, definitely increase the chance of the safety car coming out. That'd be nice. And I think the safety car should be deployed for more than just crashing out of a race. I think safety cars should be brought out whenever there's debris on a racing line or something like that. Or even when, I think this is something that'd be pretty cool too, is people getting stuck in gravel traps. If someone gets stuck in a gravel trap, they go through a gravel trap, they get stuck, they need the safety car to be deployed, and they can then be reset to the track and the safety car comes out and everything. Speaking of the safety car, I think there should be like a sort of kill cam replay system of what caused the safety car. I've seen it on the NASCAR game before, and I think it's really cool, just showing what caused the safety car, and having a bit of a laugh with your mates online. Oh, look at that guy who crashed, what a noob, that sort of thing. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the safety car. All I have left to say now is just a few small features that I've taken notice of over the last couple of years that I'd like to see in the game. Now, the first thing is the illegal overtake timer. Whenever you illegally overtake someone, you only have 7 seconds to give the place back up, but I think that is not enough time, particularly on a first lap. You illegally overtake someone, and there's a bunch of cars between you and the person you have to give the position up to. You pretty much have to stomp on the brakes or get out of the way completely, and I think that's pretty dangerous, especially when there's lots of cars in the way. I think that should be at least 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, so that you can let the person back past safely without having to hinder other people's races. I think that'd be pretty nice. The other thing I'd like to talk about is online replays or savable replays, so that people who want to watch back their league race or just a custom race back because it was really awesome, I think that'd be cool. They could save it to their hard drive or whatever and watch it back later. I think it'd be also good for online leagues, so that people can have a look at other people who have been corner cutting or causing incidents, as that's something that would really be welcomed in the league racing community. Moving on to pit stops, I think quick pit stops in qualifying and practice should be implemented. Steve Hood said that it's not possible on current gen because there's just not enough memory, but definitely on next gen there should be no excuses for that. So hopefully that can be implemented, as I think F1 2014 will be on next gen, as next gen consoles will have been out for at least 11 months by the time F1 2014 comes out, hopefully. So moving on to the next thing, manual pit stops. They had that on 2010. They need to re-implement that, because having to slow down and press the button to go in for your pit stop, that was really cool, and it allowed for people to make up precious time during the race by having a good pit stop and slowing down for the boxes. I think that was really nice. And another thing, spectating during qualifying without retiring. That'd be really cool. So you're just sitting around in your garage, you're waiting for your league race, or people in the league race to, you know, set their times. You can watch them in spectator mode, or you can do that in career mode, Grand Prix or whatever. I think that'd be really cool if you're sitting around in practice or qualifying in the garage. You can spectate other people on the track. I think that'd be awesome. I've always wanted something like that, but hopefully there's enough memory for that to be implemented on next-gen consoles. But moving on finally to driver customization, I think in career mode it'd be really cool to see or choose the way your driver looks and whatever. Not that you really see your driver's face that much, but I think it would be nice to put a face to the driver's persona sort of thing, and I think that'd be allow you to connect with your player a little bit more. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to talk about for F1 2014 game suggestions. Of course, guys, if you've missed anything, feel free to let me know, and if you have any improvements on what I've said, don't hesitate to ask. Yeah, hopefully Codemasters see this. This would be really cool if they could at least see one of these things and maybe implement that, and that would definitely make this video a success. So I hope you've enjoyed this video so far. Hopefully you haven't clicked away, and hopefully you're still watching me, and if you are, then great. I congratulate for that. And yeah, thank you for watching. Until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time.